Ladies, if you're always available for a man, he won't value you. Think about it. If something is too easy to get, people don't appreciate it as much. The same goes for relationships. When a man knows he can call you anytime, see you anytime, and that you'll always say yes, he stops putting in effort. He starts to take you for granted. He knows you'll be there no matter what. That's a dangerous place to be in. Men value what they have to work for. If you give all your time, energy, and attention without requiring anything in return, you become too easy. And when something is too easy, it loses its value. When you're always available, you send a message that your time isn't valuable. You make it clear that you don't have anything more important going on. That's not attractive. A high-value woman has things to do. She has goals, dreams, and priorities. She doesn't just drop everything for a man. She makes time for him, but he has to earn that time. When a man has to work for your time, he respects it. He values every moment with you because he knows it's not guaranteed. He knows that if he doesn't step up, you won't just sit around waiting. That's the difference between being wanted and being an option. A man will chase what he thinks he might lose, but if he knows you're always going to be there no matter what he does, he won't chase. He'll get comfortable. Being too available also kills the excitement. In the beginning, everything feels new and exciting because there's mystery. There's a bit of uncertainty. But when you're too available, there's no mystery, there's no excitement. He knows exactly what to expect from you, and that predictability can make things feel routine. It's not about playing games. It's about having a life outside of him. When you focus on your own growth, your own happiness, and your own success, you naturally become less available. You're not sitting around waiting for his call. You're busy living your life, and that makes you more attractive. Men are naturally drawn to women who have their own thing going on. When a woman is independent, confident, and busy with her own passions, she becomes more desirable. She's not needy. She's not desperate. She's not looking for a man to complete her. She's already complete. And that makes a man want her even more. When you're always available, it also creates an imbalance in the relationship. Relationships should be about mutual effort. Both people should be giving and receiving. But when you're too available, you end up giving too much and receiving too little. You start to feel unappreciated, and that leads to frustration and resentment. A man should earn your time and attention. He should know that being with you is a privilege, not a right. If he's not putting in effort, don't reward him with your time. If he's inconsistent, don't keep making yourself available. When you pull back, you give him a chance to step up. If he truly values you, he will. And if he doesn't, then you have your answer. Men don't appreciate what they don't have to work for. If you give too much too soon without requiring anything in return, you set the standard for the rest of the relationship. You show him that he doesn't have to do much to keep you around. And once that pattern is set, it's hard to change. If you want a man to respect you, start by respecting yourself. Value your time. Have your own life. Set boundaries. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to let a man miss you, because when you do, you'll see a shift. You'll attract men who truly appreciate and respect you, and you'll stop wasting time on those who don't. If you accept the bare minimum from a man, that's exactly what you'll get. A man will only do as much as you require him to do. If you don't set standards, if you don't make it clear what you deserve, he won't go beyond what's easy for him. People in general are wired to take the path of least resistance. If you let a man show up late, cancel plans at the last minute, give excuses instead of effort, and still reward him with your time and attention, he won't see a reason to change. Men respect women who have high standards. When a woman refuses to settle for half-hearted effort, it forces a man to step up or step aside. But when you accept the bare minimum, when you tolerate inconsistency, broken promises, or a lack of effort, you teach him that he doesn't have to do more. You show him that he can keep you around without really investing in you. And that's where the cycle begins. It starts small. He forgets to call and you let it slide. He doesn't follow through on something he said he would do and you excuse it. He makes last-minute plans, treating you like an afterthought, and you go along with it. Each time you accept less than you deserve, you lower the standard. Each time you don't demand more, you reinforce the idea that he can do the bare minimum and still have access to you. Men don't value what they don't have to work for. If you give your time, energy, and love to someone who isn't putting in effort, you create a one-sided dynamic. You do all the work while he coasts. He knows you'll always be there, so he doesn't see a reason to put in more effort. Why would he? He's already getting what he wants without having to earn it. Think about the things in life that people value the most. They value what they have to earn. They respect what they have to work for. And that's why when people put effort into something, they appreciate it more. The same applies to relationships. If a man has to put in effort to be with you, he will value you more. But if you make it too easy, if you accept the bare minimum, he won't see you as someone he has to work to keep. When a man truly cares about you, he will show it through his actions. He will be consistent. He will communicate. He will make an effort to see you. He will plan dates, show up on time, and make sure you feel appreciated. He will do these things not because you forced him to, but because he wants to. That's the difference between a man who values you and a man who is just keeping you around for convenience. If you keep accepting the bare minimum, you will always feel unfulfilled. You will always wonder why you don't feel truly loved and appreciated. You will always feel like you're giving more than you're receiving. And that's not what a relationship should be. A relationship should be mutual. It should be two people making an effort to build something together. A man will only do what you allow. If you let him disrespect you, he will. If you let him ignore your needs, he will. If you let him put in the least amount of effort possible, he will. But when you set a standard, when you make it clear that you expect effort, respect, and consistency, he will either rise to meet that standard or he will walk away. And if he walks away, let him. A man who isn't willing to put in effort is not a man you need in your life. Some women fear setting high standards because they think they'll lose the man. But the truth is, if a man leaves because you require effort, he was never the right man to begin with. A man who truly wants you will step up. He will want to meet your expectations because he values you. He won't see effort as a burden. He will see it as a privilege. You teach people how to treat you by what you accept. If you allow a man to be inconsistent, he will be. If you let him come and go as he pleases, he will. But if you demand respect, consistency, and real effort, you will filter out the men who aren't serious. You will attract the kind of man who values you. Don't let loneliness or fear of losing someone make you settle for less than you deserve. Don't accept the bare minimum just to have someone around. A man who truly wants you will do whatever it takes to keep you. He will make an effort, and he won't make you feel like you have to beg for his time or attention. Value yourself enough to walk away from anything that doesn't meet your standards. Because when you refuse to accept the bare minimum, you make space for the kind of love that is real, deep, and fulfilling. Over-explaining yourself to a man is one of the fastest ways to lose value in his eyes. When you constantly feel the need to explain your feelings, your decisions, or your boundaries, you are giving away your power. A confident woman doesn't over-explain. She states what she wants and she stands by it. When you explain too much, you send a message that you are seeking permission or validation. That makes a man see you as unsure of yourself, and that's not attractive. A high-value woman knows that her boundaries don't need justification. If she doesn't want to do something, she simply says no. If something doesn't sit right with her, she addresses it firmly but calmly. She doesn't feel the need to give a long speech about why she feels the way she does. She doesn't go back and forth trying to convince a man to understand her perspective. She understands that the right man will respect her without needing excessive explanation. When you over-explain, you also invite unnecessary debate. The more you explain, the more a man will try to poke holes in your reasoning. He will test your boundaries, question your feelings, and try to convince you to change your mind. But when you are firm and direct, you leave no room for negotiation. You show that you are not someone who can be talked out of what she believes in. That earns respect. Over-explaining also puts you in a position of weakness. It makes it seem like you need his approval for your choices. If you say, I don't like it when you cancel plans last minute and then go on a long explanation about why it bothers you, you give him an opportunity to argue against your feelings. Instead, if you simply say, I don't accept last-minute cancellations, and leave it at that, you send a clear message. There is no room for debate. A confident woman's words carry weight because she doesn't dilute them with unnecessary justification. Men are naturally drawn to women who are sure of themselves. Confidence is one of the most attractive qualities in a woman. When you stand firm in your beliefs without over-explaining, you come across as strong and self-assured. That makes a man take you seriously. On the other hand, when you constantly justify your actions and decisions, it signals insecurity. It shows that you are unsure of yourself, and that makes it easier for a man to dismiss your feelings. Think about the women who command respect. They don't beg for understanding. They don't feel the need to explain every little thing. They say what they mean, and they expect to be taken seriously. That's the energy that attracts high-quality men. Over-explaining can also make you appear overly emotional. While emotions are natural and valid, constantly justifying yourself with long explanations can make a man see you as someone who is ruled by emotions rather than logic. Men respect women who can express their feelings in a straightforward way without excessive justification. If something bothers you, state it clearly. If you have a boundary, enforce it without a long-winded explanation. Another problem with over-explaining is that it puts the focus on convincing him rather than on your own standards. You don't need to convince a man to respect you. You don't need to convince him to see your worth. The right man will recognize your value without you having to explain it over and over. When you over-explain, you are trying to control his perception of you. But a truly confident woman doesn't worry about how she is perceived. She knows her worth, and she doesn't need to prove it. Over-explaining also drains your energy. Constantly trying to make a man understand your perspective is exhausting. It takes away from your peace of mind and your sense of self. Instead of wasting energy trying to justify yourself, use that energy to build yourself up. Focus on your goals, your happiness, and your self-respect. A man who truly values you will respect your choices without needing excessive explanation. In a healthy relationship, communication should be clear and direct. If a man truly cares about you, he won't need long explanations to understand your feelings. He will listen, respect your boundaries, and adjust his behavior accordingly. But if you find yourself constantly explaining yourself to a man who isn't listening or making changes, then you need to ask yourself if he is even the right man for you. Men don't respond well to over-explaining because it takes away from the natural balance of power in a relationship. When a man respects a woman, he doesn't need endless explanations to understand her value. He recognizes it through her actions, her confidence, and the way she carries herself. When you over-explain, you shift the power dynamic in a way that makes him see you as less certain and less confident. A man will take you as seriously as you take yourself. If you say something and then immediately start over-explaining, you water down your message. But when you say something with confidence and leave it at that, he will understand that you mean what you say. That is what earns respect. Stop feeling the need to explain yourself to a man who isn't putting in the effort to understand you. Stop justifying your standards, your boundaries, and your choices. You don't owe anyone an explanation for valuing yourself. The right man will respect you without you having to prove why you deserve it.